Toni, you know, when you make it, you can help us come on. So I always try to abide that. But the responsibility of it is so heavy for me. I feel like I can never live my life, and I never used to say it. Like a lot of people don't understand, my second bankruptcy is because I was sick. I have lupus, and my show in Vegas got canceled.
And the insurance wouldn't cover it.
The insurance didn't cover it, so I had to pay myself.
Yeah. Right.
And so
That's a lot. That was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money to put up a show. People don't understand. If you see a concert, you see the lights, you see the band on stage, the artist pays for all that. The hotel rooms, the salary, so then you have nothing left over.
Remember when Tamar went so far as to block her own sister Toni on social media? Not only did it happen, but Toni didn't even realize until she tried to tag Tamar for her birthday shout out, and boom.
Are you guys a couple?
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
Blocked. That's cold. But insiders claim this wasn't some random petty family spat. Word on the street says Tamar had been whispering shady things about Toni behind the scenes. And all roads allegedly led right back to Birdman. Now, we're not talking about a fairy tale romance here.
Please welcome Toni Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big, this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down.
The gossip mill was spinning with claims that Toni's marriage and even her divorce were part of a bigger strategy to lock down the bag with Birdman. People were even saying she was broke at the time, which made the story stick harder. And here's where it gets spicy. Tamar herself has been accused of being the one spreading that Toni's broke narrative in private. If that's true, blocking her sis might have been more than a clapback. It could have been Tamar throwing shade in the middle of their already messy family drama. The Braxton family has always been a roller coaster, but lately, Tamar's chaos has gone full-blown nuclear, and fans can't stop watching. Tamar didn't just block her sister. She went all the way off with a full-blown meltdown online before pulling the plug on her social media. She started firing off wild posts straight onto her ex's page, dragging her own family and calling them toxic. In one now deleted rant, she wrote, "Y'all have no idea. The gaslighting is crazy, and I'm going back into treatment. Oh my God, I just pray my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared. My family is awful." That's heavy. And just when you thought she was done, Tamar doubled down with another post, venting, "I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never went back to BFI." Fans were shook reading those lines. It sounded like she was carrying the weight of every grudge and heartbreak at once. But Tamar wasn't stopping there. She later revealed that in the upcoming season of Braxton Family Values, she was asked to be Tawanda's maid of honor. But get this, she admitted the invite felt fake as ever. And here's the kicker. Tamar spilled she wasn't even included in Tawanda's bridal shower. No invite, no updates, nothing. She claimed she only got a random text a week before the wedding asking her to step in as maid of honor, almost like she was an afterthought. That's cold-blooded. Meanwhile, Tawanda allegedly had Toni and Trina wrapped deep in the wedding plans, making them feel like VIPs, while Tamar says she was left standing outside the circle. For a family that built their brand on sisterhood, this is looking more like a reality show showdown, and Tamar's not afraid to call it exactly what it is: fake love. And just when you thought the Braxton drama couldn't get any hotter, Tamar claims Tawanda's new husband has been talking slick about her behind the scenes. That was the final straw. Instead of swallowing her pride, Tamar decided to skip the entire wedding altogether. Bold move. Now, everyone knows Tamar and Tawanda don't exactly move in harmony, but what really shocked fans was how this mess spilled onto Toni. People always assumed Tamar and Toni were the solid duo holding it down, but clearly, cracks have been showing. Reports say the tension had been brewing since last year. Even Toni herself admitted she noticed something was off when she tried to post a sweet birthday shout-out for Tamar, only to realize she was blocked. Toni even wrote, "I wanted to repost that gorgeous picture of you, but I'm blocked again. Anyway, happy birthday. Tay ouch." Tamar didn't let that slide. She clapped back, calling Toni's move straight up gaslighting, and insisted that Toni could have just picked up the phone instead of making it public. To drive her point home, Tamar even leaked screenshots of their text exchange on Instagram, showing the sisters casually talking about which city they were in literally the day before. Fans were left scratching their heads. How do you go from texting like everything's cool to blocking overnight? But hold on, it gets even wilder. Whispers are floating that Tamar has been out here telling folks that Toni only got with Birdman for the money. Allegedly. If that's true, then this feud isn't just about bruised feelings. It's about money, loyalty, and the kind of betrayal that leaves scars for years. And we can't ignore the roller coaster that was Toni and Birdman's relationship. When they first went public, the two were openly talking about marriage, and fans were buzzing about the wedding that never came. Toni blamed her packed work schedule, but let's be real. If she truly wanted that ring locked down, nothing could have stopped her. And speaking of that ring, who could forget the shady saga of the missing $1 million rock? Toni claimed she lost her engagement ring after putting it in her checked luggage, saying it was stolen. But the way the story came out had everybody side-eyeing like, really? $1 million ring in checked baggage? That just didn't add up, and the streets never let it go. By 2019, the fairy tale seemed dead for good. Birdman hit Instagram with a cold, cryptic message that simply read, "It's over." Then he wiped every single photo of Toni off his page. Clean slate, no trace. Fans were left stunned, like, did we just witness the end of the saga? But Toni didn't stay silent. She clapped back with her own statement. Not with words, but with style, posting a stunning shot of herself in a fiery red gown. Her caption read, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen. Cheers to a new year." The energy was giving heartbreak with a side of empowerment, like she was hurt but ready to rise again. And just when everyone thought it was really over, boom! Weeks later, Toni and Birdman shocked the entire culture by reuniting like nothing happened. One minute, it's heartbreak. The next, it's déjà vu love. Fans couldn't keep up with this whirlwind romance. They weren't done keeping fans guessing. Out of nowhere, Toni and Birdman popped up together on stage during her Atlanta stop at the Fox Theater, and instantly the whispers of reconciliation took off again. But the Braxton-Birdman roller coaster wasn't slowing down. It was just climbing higher. By December 2023, Toni jumped online to silence the rumors, writing, "Fake news, my dear friend. Birdman and I are not married, never been married. We are both single. Case closed, or so we thought." Because the real bombshell was still loading. Fast forward, and in a jaw-dropping twist, court records surfaced showing the two actually did secretly tie the knot. The gag? They split just 48 hours later. Yup, less than 2 days of marriage before it all went up in flames. According to the documents, they tried to keep things on the low by using just their initials, TB and BW. But fans weren't fooled for a second. The paperwork exposed everything. Married on August 8th, separated on August 10th, and just 2 weeks later, Toni filed for divorce. Her lawyer didn't mince words either, bluntly stating the marriage was irretrievably broken. That sounded like the end of the line, but not with these two. In another twist, Toni dismissed the divorce in January 2025, and Birdman signed off too, which means, legally, these two are still husband and wife right now. But here's the kicker. Nobody's buying the fairy tale anymore. Behind the legal papers, the cryptic posts, and all the whispers, fans say this marriage looks more like a messy paper trail than real love. And with Toni and Birdman, Every reunion feels like it's just one scandal away from collapse. Neither Toni nor Birdman has been caught wearing wedding rings. And if that wasn't telling enough, they both went as far as wiping each other completely off their Instagram feeds. Suspicious, right? That move only made the whispers louder. Fans started saying Toni only walked down the aisle for Birdman's money, and given her long documented financial troubles, a lot of people weren't exactly surprised by the theory. But let's set the record straight. Money or not, Toni Braxton is still one of the most legendary R&B voices to ever touch a mic. She's not just famous, she's iconic. Toni first broke out in the late 80s, performing with her sisters as the Braxtons, before launching her solo career in 1993 with her self-titled debut album. And when that record hit the streets, it didn't just sell, it exploded. It shot straight to #1 on the Billboard 200 and moved a jaw-dropping 10 million copies worldwide. The album gave us timeless hits like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song, with powerhouse producers Babyface and L.A. Reid behind her every note. Toni was unstoppable, instantly cementing her place as R&B royalty. And then came her follow-up, Secrets, which gave the world one of the most heartbreaking anthems ever recorded, Unbreak My Heart. That single alone sold 10 million copies globally and remains one of the most iconic ballads in music history. The power, the pain, the delivery, no one could touch Toni at her peak. And that's why, no matter how messy the Birdman saga gets, her legacy in music will always speak louder than the rumors. Over the years, Toni has dropped 9 studio albums, her latest arriving in 2020, and every single one proved she still had the kind of star power most artists only dream of. But here's where things take a shocking turn. Despite selling out arenas, moving millions of records, and generating more than $170 million in sales for her label, Toni's personal earnings were scraps. We're talking less than 35 cents per album in her pocket. Fans couldn't believe it. It got so bad that Toni eventually sued Arista/LaFace, demanding her fair share. But just 8 weeks after filing that lawsuit in 1998, she was forced to file for bankruptcy. And when she later spoke out, she revealed the ugly truth. Her contracts were set up so unfairly that she walked away with under $2,000 in royalties. Meanwhile, she was expected to pay the label back for everything. Clothes, travel, studio time, even her music videos. Imagine being a global superstar, your songs topping charts worldwide, and still going home with pocket change. It's mind-blowing. And that's exactly why so many people keep side-eyeing her relationship with Birdman, claiming it looked more like a business move than a love story. Because truth be told, her money struggles ran deep. At one point, Toni was even accused of secretly transferring $53,490 to her then husband, Carrie Lewis, to keep it hidden from creditors during her bankruptcy case. Whether true or not, it added another layer of suspicion to her financial roller coaster and made the whispers about Birdman's money hit even harder. All this financial drama came to a head when Toni sat down with Oprah, hoping the interview would paint her in a sympathetic light. But instead of compassion, the moment turned into pure humiliation. Toni later confessed she felt crushed, saying Oprah came across as judgmental, cold, and flat out unsympathetic. The interview that was supposed to save her image ended up wounding it even more. And just when it seemed things couldn't get heavier, Toni was hit with another devastating blow. By 2010, she had to file for bankruptcy again. This time, it wasn't just about money slipping through her fingers. Her health was collapsing too. Doctors diagnosed her with microvascular angina and later lupus, a brutal 1-2 punch that forced her to cancel her multi-million-dollar Las Vegas residency. Losing that contract was like a financial gut punch that she never fully bounced back from. But the bad luck didn't stop there. The IRS came knocking. By December 4th, 2019, Uncle Sam filed a lien against her, claiming she owed over $340,252.90 in back taxes from 2017. And just when you thought that number alone was staggering, the California Franchise Tax Board piled on days later, hitting her with another lien for $116,154.64. Add it all up, and that's nearly $500,000 in tax debt, weighing Toni down. From sold-out tours to bankruptcies, from Diamond Records to IRS liens, Toni's story is living proof that fame doesn't always mean fortune. And with Birdman tangled in her love life and money struggles in the spotlight, this saga is still unfolding, and fans can't stop watching every messy twist. By now, you'd think Toni would finally catch a break, but the spotlight never let her rest. After the tax lines and health battles, whispers started floating that she was leaning on Birdman more than ever. Some insiders even claimed their back-and-forth relationship wasn't just about love, it was survival. Fans started asking, was Birdman her safety net, or was she caught in a cycle she couldn't escape? And the headlines just kept stacking. Rumors of canceled shows, unpaid bills, and icy tension with her sisters made people wonder if the Braxton bond was permanently fractured. Tamar airing family business online didn't help either. It painted a picture of a dynasty crumbling in real time. But here's the twist. No matter how messy things get, Toni still pulls crowds. Her voice, untouchable. Her legacy, cemented. That's the part that makes all this drama so wild. How can someone so legendary be so entangled in money problems, broken promises, and roller coaster relationships? Fans say it's the ultimate cautionary tale about fame. All the glitter, but not always the gold. And with Birdman still legally tied to her on paper, the million-dollar question remains, is Toni Braxton really free to move on? Or are the two locked in a toxic contract of love and money that neither one can fully escape? Until they make it crystal clear, the culture is going to keep watching, side-eyeing, and waiting for the next shocking headline to drop. And through all of this chaos, Toni has made it clear. She's the one who had to carry her entire family on her back. She's spoken openly about being the sister who paid the bills, kept the lights on, and held the Braxton name afloat while others barely lifted a finger. That kind of resentment doesn't just fade, it festers. And fans swear you can see the tension bleeding through every Braxton family interaction. So when people whisper that Toni may have married Birdman for financial security, honestly, the receipts make it believable. But here's the part that cuts the deepest. Why would Tamar allegedly be the one spreading that same storyline behind her sister's back? If that's true, then their sisterhood is fractured in ways the cameras can't even capture. Word on the street is Birdman himself wasn't here for the gossip and actually pulled Tamar aside to check her about running her mouth. That's a whole different level of messy. But here's the big question. With a brand new season of Braxton family values on the way, are we watching real drama, or are they stirring the pot on purpose to keep the spotlight burning? Either way, the Braxtons know how to keep the name ringing in the culture. And Toni and Birdman's saga proves that sometimes the real show isn't on stage, it's behind closed doors. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Toni's marriage to Birdman was about love, money, or survival? And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Juicy Real so you never miss the scandals we dig up next.